Hello and welcome back. In this video I'm going to be breaking down how expensive things are in Kazakhstan, mainly as a budget traveler. I was in Kazakhstan for just under 2 weeks in the two big cities, Almaty and the newly named Nur-Sultan, which used to be called Astana, and as such I can only talk about the prices in those cities, although I'm sure the further out you go, the more rural you go in Kazakhstan, the prices are only going to go down. So if these two places that I show you the costs of things in are the most expensive, then maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised. Anyway, I'm going to break down the different costs of accommodation, food, transportation, and sightseeing, purely based on my own experiences. Of course, prices are always subjective. This video is just to give you a general idea about how much you might expect to spend if you decide to visit Kazakhstan yourself. Beginning with accommodation, let's start in Almaty. Firstly, I stayed in a hostel known as DA Hostel, which was, as many of you pointed out in my first impressions of Kazakhstan's comments in that video, it's quite far away from the city center, away from the mountains, kind of in a quieter part of Almaty. So just bear that in mind in case you want to stay at this hostel, but I'm going to tell you the price anyway. It was 2,000 tenge for one night, which is just around £4 actually, so extremely good value for a dorm bed. It was very modern, facilities were good, and it took 20 minutes or so to walk to the nearest restaurant or place to eat actually, but the price was very reasonable. I did then move to an Airbnb for a few days to catch up on some editing, which was next to the Dostik Plaza, quite a modern, nice shopping center there in Almaty, and that Airbnb cost came to roughly £24 a night. You can see here a quick shot I took on my phone just for my own Instagram account, so it's horizontal, but you can see here the room. So how about the capital city of Kazakhstan? In Nur-Sultan, Astana, I stayed in Capsula Hostel, which is in a great location right next to a big shopping mall, and I was in a room with many different capsule beds. It's very long and narrow, but the price was only 3,400 tenge per night, which is around £7. It is quite quiet, as is the rest of the capital city, as you might have seen in my video. And you also have privacy, you have a curtain to pull down. It's a good, cheap and clean modern place to stay in the capital city if you're on a budget. Of course, if you want an Airbnb, if you want to rent something, have your own private space, prices are going to go up, but you can do it for just around £7 there in the capital city too. So what about food costs in Kazakhstan? I often paid around 1,000 to 2,000 for my average meal, which is only a couple of pounds if we're converting to the UK currency, a few dollars. It's really not much at all. And I also filmed a couple of high-end, more expensive restaurants to show you what might be the probably most expensive place you might be able to find. I'm sure there are even more expensive places in these menus I filmed, but take a look at a few of these clips and you'll probably be quite impressed. Soups between 1,500 and 2,000. Burgers just over 3,000, so we're talking around £6. Quite reasonably though. These pasta dishes, still beneath £5 roughly. When we reach the steaks, things are getting a little bit more expensive. Over and under £10. Some more here, just over £6 for the tagliatelle with salmon, penne. If we're comparing to European prices for this quality of food, Kazakhstan is excellent. Remember, £1 is 480 roughly. Different rolls, 850, 890, 690, 1,990 for that one. A bit more expensive. I think for sushi in a restaurant like this, for £3 or £4, it's really not too bad. You see sushi a lot more expensive. Pizzas, Philadelphia pizza, 2,400, around £5, and 1,900, just under £4, 1,690 for a grilled salad. Chicken salad, 1,490 here. Different soups, 1,200 and 300, 890 for the Japanese one. Ramen, just 1,390. A proper Kazakh dish, horse meat with red onion, 3,390. That is quite expensive. Horse meat is a bit of a delicacy here. It can be quite expensive. Horse meat vegetables, 2,490. and others with noodles coming in under 2,000 and just over 1,000. Shish kebab from horse meat, 1,750. And different noodle dishes again, 1,700, 400, all just over £3. So there you go, you get the idea in this quite nice place here, although again it's extremely empty. On top of that, I also filmed a food court which shows some more modest price places here, so take a look. Egg and chips for £8.90, underneath £2. Meatballs and mashed potato, $8.50. Different dishes you can see here, most of them local. A lot of red meat, chips, sausage, potato. A kebab grill house, 1,250, 1,150, 350 for different kebabs and sandwiches. So just over £2 mostly. Salmon, 1,700, dumplings, 750 and 600. Noodles for 900, around £2 there, and salads for just over £1. There is a cinema in here. I wonder just how expensive it is to watch a film. Cinema tickets, if I'm not wrong, that's 1,700 for most films. If you decide to book an Airbnb or have your own place in Kazakhstan, then what kind of prices can you expect to find in a supermarket? Now bear in mind the supermarket I'm about to show you is a very nice one. I saw it in both Astana and Almaty, and it's the most expensive supermarket of all of them in Kazakhstan. I'm pretty sure about that, correct me if I'm wrong. So do take a look at the prices now. I think you will be pleasantly surprised as well. So I'm going to show you the prices of the supermarket. This one is called Galmart, and it's very modern and nice. A simple commodity, but one small bottle of water is 115 tenge. For a larger one, 170. For some sandwiches, 272. Remember, 480 is £1, so that's really quite reasonable actually. For this type of roll, it's 650, so just over £1. You can pick up a whole litre of fresh blueberry juice, probably with a bit of sugar in there, for just 350. So yeah, like 80p. What I love about the big supermarkets here is they always have a lot of fresh food that you can actually just pick up, starting mainly over here. A couple of times when I was in Almaty, I got my dinner from one of these supermarkets by just picking random ones. You can see the different prices here. 800 for potatoes, 2,000 for rice. By the way, you have to take a lot of that for it to actually cost 2,000. If you take like one packet worth, it's probably only going to be about 1,000. Fish and different salads, noodles, more fresh salad. I can get this whole one here for just 180, 250 for this fresh loaf. I cannot believe how cheap the vodka is here. Look at this, 1,810 for this bottle, which is half a litre. 1,800, 2,200 even. So like £4 or £5 for these bottles. Here, only £6 or so for this nice brand. In the UK, minimum it's like at least £13 probably. 1,395 for these. So many different brands, most likely a lot of them from Russia. Vodka really cheap. For some local beer, 380 for the smaller one, 435 for the bigger. Less than £1 for this beer. Having shown you a little bit of food, I want to also talk about transportation in Kazakhstan. I mainly use Yandex Taxi to get around both of those cities. It is the taxi service app, which is similar to Uber or Grab. It's used in Russia and many former Soviet countries. It's very convenient and very affordable. I worked out that on average, it's around 50p per kilometer. So if you're taking a 4-kilometer journey, around £2. To get from Almaty to the capital of Kazakhstan, it is a huge distance. As you know, it's the 9th largest country in the world by size or land area. I wanted to initially take a train, and if you've seen my video, you will know that all the trains were sold out. So if you do plan on taking a train, make sure you book a couple weeks in advance, if not even further in advance if you can. However, to fly, if you have to do it, you can go with a bunch of different airlines. One is called SCAT, who are the cheapest. I actually flew with Air Astana though, who are quite a well-reputed airline internationally, and that cost me £60. Bear in mind, I booked that just 5 days in advance or something. I didn't have much time. I probably could have got it even cheaper if I booked it further in advance. Or if I went with SCAT Airlines, it might have been around £40, just to be sure that you don't have to pay extra baggage fees. And if you want to go with something more comfortable, then you can pick Air Astana. So how about sightseeing in Kazakhstan, and what kind of costs can you expect? A day trip to Big Almaty Lake from Almaty itself was around 5,000 tenge, so just £10. I paid that to the couple that helped to organize my trip. They drove me the 1 hour or just under 1 hour or so journey from Almaty to the lake, and also took me to a couple other places. As part of that whole deal, I met them through couch surfing. I paid them 5,000 tenge in return. Of course, walking around Almaty and Astana is completely free, and the only other cost I paid during my trip for any form of sightseeing activity was the camera fee in the National Museum of Kazakhstan in the capital city. That wasn't much at all. That was around £1 or just 500 tenge, and that was pretty much it. There are different trips from Almaty that you can do if you have more time than I did, to the Charin Canyon, which looks absolutely incredible. I'd love to go back and visit it, and also the Kolsai lakes. There's lots of incredible places to see outside of Almaty, so probably best to spend more time there than the capital city. One more thing I want to mention are the costs of getting a SIM card in Kazakhstan. So I recommend you do this the moment that you arrive in the airport, or perhaps on your first or second day, just by going to one of the phone companies. There are two, Beeline and Alltel were the ones that I saw. There probably are a couple others. I went with Alltel, and that was around 3,000 tenge for 30 days, and that gave me 12 gigabytes. So I think a very reasonable price, and much better and much more affordable than other countries I visited for phone SIM card deals, that's for sure. So there we go, that's all I have for this video. I'm sorry that it wasn't so detailed on prices in Kazakhstan. I just wanted to give you a rough idea how much things were, and perhaps you managed to find that out by watching this video, and hopefully it's inspired you to take a trip to Kazakhstan, as my other videos might have too, because it is an affordable, unexplored and fascinating country with both friendly people and lots of natural beauty to be seen. So really, it's somewhere off the radar, and if you're looking to escape flocks of tourists that you might find at other destinations, then I highly recommend that you try something different and go for Kazakhstan. That's my last video from the country. I would love to return in the future. There's still so much I haven't seen. I had to cut my trip fairly short because I had other commitments, which you're going to see in the future videos on this channel as we go forward. So stay tuned to find out where I'll be next. Thank you so much if you're from Kazakhstan and you subscribe to my channel, and I hope you'll follow me in the future on my upcoming travels, and hopefully I'll see you all again soon. Peace.